Recording in progress.
Oh yeah, we got him. Trey, Frazier, and Maestro styles, you know we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey shot with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, you know Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.
Yo, what up? What up, folks? Welcome. It's another edition of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. We're streaming live right now on our YouTube channel, Twitch, Facebook Live, and our Twitter handle, which is at Barbershop SPOR2. I'm Trey Frazier, and that's the homie Maestro Styles over there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's good, man? What's going on?
Cooling, man. I'm tired as hell, man, but here we are, man.
That's what's up.
Going in, man. Off rip, man. Happy birthday to you, my guy.
Thank you. Appreciate
41,
that.
old as fuck.
Appreciate that. Yeah, 41. Just seemed like I just turned 40, right?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we got a little bit to get into this week. You know, not too much, but we got a little bit to talk about. Obviously, the divisional round of the playoffs, and getting into the conference championships.
Yes,
that type
sir.
of stuff, man.
Yes, sir.
Fresh off the Twitter wire, the Chargers are looking to hire Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw
yeah.
that. Like, many people predicted that he would come back to the NFL, and especially to that particular team, the Chargers. So, to me, it's a great hire, one that's needed for the Chargers, and you got a quarterback that's already there in Justin Herbert, and I think a roster that I think could use a little bit of retooling, but they do have some talent on the roster. So with Jim Harbaugh there, and kind of based off of his previous stint in the NFL, I expect this Chargers team to be back in the playoffs, 2024.
Okay, I mean, look, man. Like you said, Jim Harbaugh obviously got a good resume.
Yep.
He got some cachet. So I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a great hire. I'm saying it's good. Like if you had a choice of who the Chargers would get, you would get Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
So I mean, shout out to the Chargers, shout out to Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Real quick, man. That we did. I know that was a football topic, but we do need to get into this basketball real quick because it's only a couple of conversations. But we need to get into them because this is, again, fresh off. I mean, not fresh, but
so
fresh
you want
enough.
to go NBA entirely first, and then we get into the football.
Yeah, then we can do all the football.
Okay,
because
I got
basketball ain't gonna last long.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I got some. I got more than what's been recently been happening. I mean,
Okay.
obviously Embiid with the 70 points the other night. Shout out to him.
Shout out to him, and shout out to Cat who goes 62. Obviously off the 18-year anniversary of Kobe scoring 81.
Yep.
So that's, kind of, I mean, obviously anybody who scores 70 points is going to be a waiver wire, waiver wire. It's going to be newsworthy, but
Of course.
I mean, for him and
a win,
Cat,
and a win more importantly for Embiid,
Sure.
and where that team is. As far as Cat goes, dropping to 62, that's cool. But when you blow a lead, you blow an 18-point lead to the Charlotte Hornets, one of the worst teams in the league. That's just not good, man. And
For sure.
I get it was on the same night as Embiid doing the 70, but if you Cat, and just for a little bit of context, 58 of those 62 was through the first three quarters. And then he started shooting bricks.
Disappeared.
So no. He took shots in the fourth quarter. He just started missing them. He started missing threes and stuff like that. And to add injury to insult, and we've talked a lot about Anthony Edwards and his rising star and everything like that. MVP candidate, I would say.
Yeah,
I know.
for sure.
I know there's some others that are there.
Yeah. But he's in the conversation for sure.
Yeah. 9 points in that particular game, and I get in kind of to go to like the press conference because I got some audio off of that where they were asking Anthony Edwards, hey, we understand Cat was hot, and y'all just kept feeding him. Like, what happened toward the end there? And he just basically came out and was like, yeah, man. I mean, we just was trying to see if he could get to 70. He was just trying to see if we can get Cat to 70 points, or maybe more than that, being it was Kobe's 81 anniversary on that particular day.
Yeah. So basically, they lost the game trying to feed Cat.
They lost. They lost the game trying to feed Cat, and it's not that Cat disappeared. It's that he just kept attempting shots, and he went. He went for He went 2 for 10, I think, in that fourth quarter, and they had like an 18-point lead, and they blew it to one of the worst teams in the league. So you can't do that. You definitely can't do that. So.
In other short news, I just saw this, so I'll give them a quick shout out.
Yep.
The Thunder are number 1 in the West right now.
Oh, they did overtake the T-Wolves?
That is definitely what I just saw on Twitter. So so shout out to the Thunder.
Okay.
Who I didn't realize they was having that type of season, but clearly they are.
Oh yeah. From the jump.
Yeah. So shout out to the Thunder. Now to the big news, man. The big news in the NBA is obviously Adrian Griffin is out in Milwaukee, and Doc Rivers is in. The former consultant of the Milwaukee Bucks is now the coach. Did
you know he was a consultant? Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. Scrolling Twitter. I watched a little YouTube before we came on, and found out that he was consulting them in the play-in. Talking about defense specifically is what I understand. And like they're somewhere around 22, 23 ranked defense in the league right now.
Yeah.
In lieu of, I think they were there like 2 or 3 seed right now.
They're 2 seed right now.
Yeah, right. So in lieu of that, there's still, your thoughts, man? Because I saw you on Twitter. You was a little upset, man. You seemed a little upset.
Yeah. Look, anytime you see a record like that, 30-13, which really is the only record that's better than the Boston Celtics. At the time this happened, yesterday. This is the second best record in the league, mind you. Right. And I see a black man, first time head coach, who was picked by Giannis, by the way. Let's put that out there as well. And 40 games into the campaign, he gets fired. Now, I did read some stuff, and just to kind of backtrack a little bit, because obviously their offseason consisted of getting Damian Lillard in the trade for Jrue Holiday, who was their defensive anchor. Knowing that, they knew, hey, we're trading defense for offense.
For offense, right.
The Milwaukee Bucks knew that. The GM, the ownership, they knew that. That same group and that same player, Giannis, hired Adrian Griffin to do this. So while all these moves were being made, they knew. The coach, the GM, the players, they all knew that defensively this team was going to take some form of a hit on the defensive side. And yes, they went 4-1 against the Pacers, which is crazy that they played them this many times and we're not even at the All-Star break yet. But they went 4-1 against the Pacers, which is kind of like their rival, their division rival in some respects. They beat the Pistons by a very low margin the other night, which I guess they weren't happy about. You got Brook Lopez, pointing at people, F you from the sideline. And then I read something else where I guess Terry Stotts, the former Blazer coach who coached Lillard all those years, was on this staff as an assistant, and him and Griffin had a disagreement, and so Terry Stotts resigned from his position off of that one disagreement, whatever that was. Yeah. So so that's when they're saying, okay, this is where some stuff is like not working out, like the defensive system that Adrian Griffin is trying to put in. The players aren't digging what he's trying to install. Losing the locker room. I hear that term quite a bit.
Yeah.
But the reality is, for me, Adrian Griffin didn't deserve to be fired. I thought he deserved to see this through. Because again, second best record in the league.
Yeah.
Number 2 in the East. I would have liked to have seen him finish this out. Like a David Blatt was able to at least get the Cavs to the finals that one year before LeBron decided, hey, this ain't gonna work out with this guy. Let's bring in Ty Lue. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I thought that was mid-season. I thought I heard somebody. Matter of fact, I was just listening to something that said that he was fired mid-season, 30-11 record, when Ty Lue came in.
But that was after David Blatt completed the first year that LeBron came back.
Okay.
So David Blatt basically did a year and a half.
Got you.
Whereas Adrian Griffin is only 1.5 a year.
Right, gotcha. Okay, I get what you're trying to. I get you.
I would like to have seen Adrian Griffin at least complete the full year, and then anything after that, if they decided this ain't good enough, then okay, do what you got to do, right? He didn't deserve this, man. But this whole Doc Rivers thing, man, like I think this is where it kind of takes another turn, man. And for me, if you're making this switch right now, before the All-Star break,
better win.
Y'all better beat the Boston Celtics. I'm gonna be more detailed. Y'all better beat the Boston Celtics, because that means you're gonna get to the finals, and that means whoever you're gonna go up against, whether it's Denver, the Clippers, whoever, y'all better win. Because if y'all don't win, then this whole thing is gonna be a failure. And I hope Giannis considers that, because we ain't forget. That nigga gave up the ball to Grayson Allen in a Game 5 where they got beat by an 8 seed in Miami, 4-1. We ain't forget that. So
in your mind, why was he fired? In your mind,
in my mind, and it doesn't make sense to me, but I mean, based on the rumblings, they didn't like how they was playing defense. And, the record, not the record, but the stats say that Milwaukee's defense is bad. It's a bad defense, which, again, when they made these offseason moves, including bringing the coach on and trading for Lillard for Drew Holiday, they knew this. They knew they were going to take a defensive hit.
Right. So if you feel like they knew that, do you think that them being the 22nd ranked defense, at least at the time it happened, that was the reason why they decided to fire him? That don't make sense to me.
Between that and them trying to justify the trade, I think, which really,
I think what makes sense to me is Doc Rivers is a decorated coach, and whatever, I get it. You talk about the failures with the Clippers, or no rings with the Clippers,
right? Blown 3-1 leads. Yep.
Sure, no rings with Philly. I get it.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, this is a championship caliber coach. He hasn't won it since 2008, and that this was the guy who was consulting Adrian Griffin. So the conversation, when you started telling me things like he got into it with Terry Stotts, so much to the effect that Terry Stotts needed to leave.
Yep.
It says to me that maybe Adrian Griffin, I won't throw shade at Adrian Griffin. What I would say is that if you had to take a pick, and you're in a quote unquote championship window, which I think the Milwaukee Bucks gotta feel like they're in a pocket right now where they could win championships.
Yep.
With the S.
Yep.
Doc Rivers or Adrian Griffin, who do you take? You take Doc Rivers. It's unfortunate for Adrian Griffin, especially because he's done nothing but his job so far.
Right.
But at the same time, if you think that you in a championship window and the coach, though it's a small sample size in 40 games, got you close to the bottom half of the playing defense, it'd be one, it's one thing like, okay, like you said, we expected the defense to not be as good,
Yep.
with Drew Holiday gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, 22nd is pretty low. That's 22 out of
It's
30.
bad. It's bad.
It's bad. So I don't think they anticipated it being 22nd worse. But I mean, my thing is, if you're winning in lieu of it,
Mm-hmm.
at this stage, it's got to really be, in my opinion, that y'all felt like Adrian Griffin, with the sample size we've seen, is not going to have what it takes to reel these guys in and go really compete for a championship.
So you think it's that simple that they just?
I don't think that's. I don't think what I just said is simple at all.
Gotcha.
I think that it's a ballsy move for the Milwaukee Bucks to
Right.
fire a coach who's doing well.
Right.
Like you said, second best record in the league, to go get somebody that you feel like got what it takes to really, because he's done it.
Right.
No matter how long ago he's done it, done it.
Like, why not hire Doc Rivers in the first place? Like, I think that's a good question that I think deserves.
Maybe he wasn't interested in coaching. Then I don't know. I mean, I get it. Maybe with him coming in and consulting with the Bucks, now he's in the flow of what the Milwaukee Bucks do on a somewhat day to day. I would assume.
Yeah.
So now it's like,
that's crazy.
Well, shit, you're here now, and we know you got the pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
We'll throw you the money you need. We need you to come on, and get us a chip, coach us a championship team. And like I said, it's unfair to Adrian Griffin, who's done everything he's been asked to do. But I mean, hey man, oftentimes life ain't fair. So I mean, I hate to trivialize it to that, but really at the end of the day, you know the plight of a black man. You got to be above and beyond, to keep your job a lot of times.
Yeah, I was kind of emotional about it when I first heard about it, and saying it's just too many black coaches in the league, so they gotta, can one to try to, I guess come to the median. But right. So I can't go that route, right? So
yeah.
So I guess for me, and I'm gonna make a comparison here. Organizations that realize maybe they made a mistake, without maybe extending the mistake for as long. How about San Francisco doing what they did with Trey Lance, and maybe early on realizing, hey, this ain't the guy. Brock Purdy's doing what we, doing a good job. Hey, let's make the switch now. I kind of see some similarities between that situation and what the Milwaukee Bucks are doing with the head coaching position. Is realizing.
Well, I don't think we had a really good sample size of Trey Lance, one.
Right.
Two, I don't think he was balling like we all we put a little sauce on his balling in his small sample size with San Fran. He wasn't bad by any stretch, but he certainly wasn't like barn burning. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
But I'm talking about from the perspective of the Niners. I think from their perspective, maybe they feel like this could be a mistake down the road. Let's put a Band-Aid on it now before it gets to a point where we think it's going to go down that road. I think the Milwaukee Bucks are kind of doing the same thing in the sense that this may be a mistake, but we don't want to see this mistake all the way through. Let's put a Band-Aid on it right now so that we can, kind of justify, not making a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. But I mean, look, man, you know how I felt about it. The second Trey Lance got injured and Brock Purdy had that season he had, I knew Trey Lance wasn't coming back one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like it just didn't make sense to bring him back. So I don't necessarily see it that way, but I hear you.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But like you agree with me. They got to beat the Boston Celtics. Like you make a move like this.
Look, I say
you got to beat the Boston Celtics, and that means getting to the NBA Finals.
And look, you said you hired a championship caliber coach.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to throw shade on him like he didn't win. He coached that championship team in 2008.
Yep.
But I mean, he's a long way from that.
What are we, 16 years away from that?
It's a long way from that. So it's hard for me to say I mean, look, I ain't gonna take it from him. He is a championship caliber coach, but for me, I feel like I agree with you, man. Just go ahead and see that thing to the end.
Because check this out. Let's say they get to the conference finals and they do lose to Boston. I may look at that time and say, Adrian Griffin could have got them this far to the conference finals,
right?
like,
To the conference finals,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the point at that point? That's how I'm gonna react to that.
Yeah, no, that I'm with you 100%. I don't agree with it, but I do get it. It's a ballsy call, and if it pays off, then the people responsible for the moves are,
and then we'll give them props. We will give them props
100%
if it pays off. Yep.
But I definitely don't like more than I don't like the idea of a black coach getting fired before he got a chance to cook.
Yeah.
I don't like getting rid of a coach, white or black, that didn't get an opportunity to
see it all the way through. Yeah,
at least give him a year. At least give him a year.
Give him a year.
My God,
give him a year.
What did you fucking hire him for?
I don't know, man.
If I'm Adrian Griffin, I'm salty with Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I'm salty.
Yeah, and then the dude that consulted you gets the job. Like that's
means
that's
they was
crazy.
lining them up the whole time. I'm sorry.
That's
They was lining him up
crazy.
I don't know what they didn't like about Adrian Griffin, but that says to me that he was lining him up the whole time.
This nigga was announcing games on ESPN while consulting Adrian Griffin in Milwaukee.
And that's not a conflict of interest. Like, this shit is wild.
That's wild, man. Like, hey, Bucks.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. Like, I'm not emotional about it like you are per se about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that it certainly would make sense that the expectation is now the finals. If you fired somebody not even mid-season,
beat Boston.
Yeah.
But yeah. I ain't gonna hold you. The way my Knicks have been looking these past couple weeks, I wouldn't mind seeing Milwaukee in the playoffs. Yeah. I feel like they're really beatable.
I mean, the East is wide open, to be honest with you, man. I nobody in the East, from the short amount of basketball that I've been watching, makes me feel like, oh, this team is the dominant team in the East.
Right.
You know, I think this shit is wide open right now. I think anybody in that 8.
I agree.
Or anybody in that 6, let me say, got a hell of a shot.
Because Boston, while they are doing what they're doing right now, they still have yet to win the finals. That particular group of players have yet to win it all. So, yeah, I'm with you. They let teams come back on them. Like, that's what we've seen of the Celtics the past couple of seasons. So, So I'm with you, man.
For sure. All right, man. Let's get into to divisional round, man. Divisional round.
One more NBA point.
Okay.
My bad.
My fault. You good?
My bad. One more NBA point because the Miami Heat made a trade that I think is going to make them better than they are right now. So the Miami Heat send Kyle Lowry and I think a first-round pick to the Hornets for Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier. And that move, I mean, I think he's the kind of guy. It's a good move. It's a
good fucking move.
And he's the kind of guy that can fit that Heat culture, the way they, operate down there.
Now they can figure a way to get Oladipo off them books.
Well, yeah, I forgot he was on that roster. I forgot about that.
Yeah, those two trades definitely set them back. In my personal opinion, I get that Kyle Lowry is a wily veteran. All those things you like to say, but he definitely, I think, more negatively affected the Heat on the court than he did positively.
Experienced vet is what they saw him at.
but he, I don't know that he gave enough on the court. I don't think that experiment worked out the way they thought it was going to work out. So Terry Rozier is a younger guy, little better. You know what it's like. A little better. I mean, obviously not with as much as experience as a championship Kyle Lowry, but that's the good move. Good move. Way to get Kyle Lowry out of there.
Rozier is averaging about 23, 24 points a game. Yeah. They definitely could use that. And I know Kyle Lowry, sometimes he's in the starting lineup, sometimes he's coming off the bench, but to get that guy, that's going to be your starter full time. You ain't got to worry about switching point guards on and off the bench Terry Rozier is going to be a starter. So
For sure.
yeah. Hey, quick shout out in the chat, man. Chief Rocker Jersey Vern and
What up,
X
Chief?
Squad online radio.
Yes, sir.
He's got a message for you, Maestro. Have a seat next to him on the couch. He's talking about He's talking about the playoff couch, which quite frankly, and I told him the other day that there's two playoff couches. There's two couches. One for playoff for teams that make the playoffs but get knocked out, and then another couch for teams that don't make it at all.
I'm glad you're coming along, man. I'm telling you, yeah.
Well, I told him that was message from you. I still feel a certain way about it, but I don't care. My team is in the conference final. You know, y'all have that, man.
Don't never put me in your bum ass non-playoff couch. We made it.
Yeah, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into the recap here. So I got a couple shout outs. CJ Stroud, D'Amico Ryans and the crew. Great season for them. I think they went from 3-14 to 10-7, a 7-game turnaround for the season. CJ Stroud clearly is the rookie or offensive rookie of the year, however you want to categorize that. I think D'Amico Ryans right now is clearly the coach of the year at this point. I know they put Stefanski in there, and he's got a good case. He's got a good case.
Okay,
but
well, I gotta keep reminding that it's regular season and that playoffs.
Correct. He's got a good case, but I think with the turnaround of the Texans, I
don't know. I don't know where I'm leaning right now. I don't know the answer.
Okay.
But what I will say is that the Cleveland Browns didn't have their best running back, didn't have their starting quarterback. Didn't have a good quarterback, a competent quarterback up until week 15, week
13ish,
something like that.
Week 13ish. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And he was really just on a high, and the high came down. In the wild card round.
Yep.
So
four quarterbacks. They said I think they're the only team in the history to have 4 quarterbacks start throughout the year and make the playoffs.
Amari Cooper wasn't healthy all year. That's for sure.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
an offensive line. They had some injuries there too.
So in lieu of all those things for that team and I get that defense is A1 this year.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, bro. And I know we gave them a lot of credit for their defense, but if you look at their home road splits, bro, defensively, they were so bad on the road versus at home. It was like the numbers are so obvious. Between what they've done.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
But that's what we keep saying, and that's what we've been saying all year. That defense was good. Yeah. I get it. They weren't the best defense in the league. Let's be clear. I haven't felt that way.
Right.
But like I said, top 5 easily. Top 5.
Top 5. No doubt.
Yeah. Maybe 5, but for sure.
Top 5, no doubt.
Top 5. So look, man, Stefanski did what he had to do with that team and not having everything that he thought he was going to have to work with.
Strong case. Strong case to be coach of the year.
Case. I guess 3-14 though, and then, but again, I keep wanting to put that ass whipping they put on Cleveland in the playoffs. I keep wanting to add that, and that's why
I'm not adding that. It's for me.
It's
regular season turnaround from 3 wins to 10 wins. You win the division on top of that.
Yeah.
Rookie coach, rookie quarterback. What do we say about the Texans the past couple of years? The whole Deshaun Watson thing, the Bill O'Brien stuff with DeAndre Hopkins and all that. Like that team and that front office was a mess until they got D'Amico and CJ Stroud up in there. So
that's a fact. Yeah, I'm with you. My mind's made up. Yeah,
so.
Both of them. I'm with you.
Glad to make your mind up, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So shout out to them, man. They're gonna be a force moving forward for certain, man. But my defense on Saturday, man, and we played them 2 times this year. We opened up the season with them. Held them out to the end zone the first game, and then on Saturday did the same thing. That 7 points was their punt return on special teams. So the fact that we saw what CJ Stroud was in those other games, minus the Ravens games. We saw what he was doing to those other teams for the games he played in. And then to see him, play us, and for my defense to do what they did against that offense, we pressured him a few times. We couldn't get home. I mean, we couldn't get home for nothing. CJ Stroud, I mean, he was moving in the pocket pretty well, but we blitzed him a few times, was able to get the ball out of his hands quickly. So defensively, my defense came to play. And there was a moment in the game where halftime, it's tied 10-10. It seemed like the momentum had been with the Texans off the punt return for the touchdown. Right. That last Ravens drive, Lamar got sacked twice on that same drive, and it just seemed like, okay, here we go. Mm-hmm. Momentum is with the Texans. So second half, Lamar comes out in the offense, touchdown right there off the bat.
I heard he got to cussing at people in the locker room.
That's what the story was, yeah. And quite frankly, that should be the case anytime you're in a situation like that. So that's nothing new to me. But those next 3 drives in the second half, touchdown. And again, the defense cooked. And we were able to, pull away 34-10. And the city gets to host its first AFC championship game. They said since 1970. So
is that I thought I saw somebody on Twitter pay $73,000 for 2 tickets.
So I saw that, and I think I follow that cat. I hope he was being sarcastic with that,
or was it a troll?
Ain't no way. I mean, that's property.
I mean, if you got it, bruh, respectfully, if you got it.
I am not. Come on.
I'm just saying if you got it. I don't know if you got it or don't. I don't know that nigga in person, in real life. If you got it, man, hey, man.
I'm not doing that. I'm not. Even if I had it, I'm not doing that.
No, I don't mean, when I say got it, I don't mean you got it like,
sure,
it's in the bank, I can afford it. I mean you got it like you millionaires, your property is good, I think you would. I think you would. If you was up. I ain't talking about like, just cause I got, I got 100,000 in the bank. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Here's what I would do though, and I don't know if those were sweet tickets or lower bowl tickets, but I would definitely not be sitting in no, upper bowl section of the stadium. I would definitely be looking to get a sweet ticket for certain. I would wait until that price dropped. So like this past game Saturday, and I've been monitoring the ticket prices. So upper bowl seats went from $200 to about $80. And the lower seats went from about $9-something to, I think at worst, $300.
Okay.
So so you're gonna see the decrease in pricing throughout the week. Right. I decided to pass because it was minus. Well, it wasn't minus, degree weather, but that day it was real windy that day. It was windy. It was cold. I said, you know what? I'm gonna sit this one out. And I'm going to wait for the AFC Championship game because Sunday, I know it's supposed to be 46 degrees on Sunday. I know it's supposed to rain too, but I could deal with some rain.
Yeah.
At 46.
Overwind.
I could deal with that. And less wind. I could deal with that. So right now, I'm monitoring these ticket prices. Obviously, the stakes are higher, so the ticket prices are higher than the divisional round game was. So right now, them upper seats are probably like 6-something right now. So we'll see, man. We'll definitely see, bro. I guess we can get into the San Francisco win, or the comeback.
Yeah.
I wanted to get your thoughts on that game.
Well, I mean, look, man. Shout out to Jordan Love because Jordan Love is look, and not more importantly than shout out to Jordan Love, but shout out to the Packers, man, because they ain't missed in 30 years. You know, it seems as if Jordan Love is going to be a good quarterback in this league, a quarterback that can play for 10 years.
He's going to play in the Super Bowl. He's going to play in the Super Bowl one of these years.
I'm not going to go that far, but he looks good. That's what I'll say. I watched them, you know, they got on a run and got into the playoffs, but let's see when, you know, next year. Let's see how next year goes for them. But they got a franchise quarterback, it would seem.
Yep.
And you know, he played good ball, but at the end of the day, when San Fran said, you know, hey, look, we not about to sit here and lose no motherfucking Green Bay in our crib.
So,
and that's that. I think that's what ended up happening.
So there was some weird stuff going on early in like the first quarter, second quarter. So I'm gonna point out two plays. I'm gonna point out two scenarios. So the first scenario, where the Packers were driving, I think they had already put the 3 points on the board already. It was 3-0 Packers, and that second drive, it was the second drive of the game for Green Bay, and they were in San Fran territory. They were in the red zone, and it was third and 6, 3rd and 5, and they were. It looked like he got the first down, but it also appeared that maybe he was a tad short, but where the ref placed the ball at. So the refs did this twice in this game. They misspotted the ball, and it was fourth and inches, and Packers decided to go for it, you know, hurry up. They got stopped, and then from that point on, San Francisco, on that particular drive, they went down and scored a touchdown, and they went up 7-3. And then Green Bay, all throughout the rest of the game, just kept, you know, going back and it wasn't a back and forth game, but Green Bay was real productive against that defense for San Francisco. So there was a couple of, there were moments in the game where it was just like, yo, Green Bay's playing so well. I mean, they could really pull this upset off, but I somehow don't think they're gonna do it. Like,
yeah, I never thought so.
Someone put a stat on TV saying that Kyle Shanahan was 0-30 when he had a halftime deficit or something like that.
Yeah.
And I immediately, and I don't know if you saw this, I immediately tweeted, he about to be 1-30. At the end of this game, he about to be 1-30. Somehow, some way, I just thought, okay, how is this gonna go? How is San Fran gonna will themselves to get this victory? And then obviously, I guess they got a rookie kicker or something, and he missed the field goal. And then I think that was the moment where I said, they effed up.
Yeah, man. You know, like I said, man, I just didn't believe it for a second. I think that when San Fran realized, okay, all right, now game time, this has gone too far. And then you saw the defense start to tighten up a little bit. You saw, you saw a tighter ship being ran along, let's say like mid third quarter on through the rest of the game. Yeah. And you know, like I said, man, I never for a second thought that Green Bay was going to come out with the victory. But again, I am impressed. What I left with that game is Green Bay definitely does have a franchise quarterback, in my opinion. Yep. I don't know if that team is going to end up being a good, back to, I guess the glory days when they was winning divisions, but division titles. But
if like people have been doing, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, like the way Green Bay has kind of handled the quarterback position. Yeah. If we follow that same trend, Brett Favre did win a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers did win a Super Bowl. Yeah. Maybe Jordan Love, and like I said, I think he's going to end up playing in a Super Bowl one of these years.
I heard somebody say that in the broadcast. So sure.
Yeah. If we're following that trend, if that's the trend we're following, then I could see Jordan Love playing in the Super Bowl at some point. I'm not saying it's next year. I'm not saying that.
Oh, it definitely ain't next year.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying at some point, throughout his career, and I guess they're gonna have to take care of him money wise too, because he's on fourth year, fifth year, something like that.
Fourth. Yeah, right.
Yep. So
they in a short note, Green Bay fired their defensive coordinator too.
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah,
I did see that. We talked about the defense being not so good this year.
Yeah, not so good, right? Hey man, and by the way, shout out to D Love Sports. I'm with it. I meant to retweet it. I just didn't get around to it. Hey, Jair Alexander, man. If you ready to come on to Pittsburgh, come on, man. Come on to Pittsburgh.
So I saw that
Pittsburgh.
Sneed. No. I saw that Pittsburgh was going to be talking to Cliff Kingsbury for the offensive coordinator position.
I also saw that they were looking to interview Thomas Brown, who's the former Carolina Panther offensive coordinator. That kind of pissed me off. Don't talk to me about the Carolina Panthers right now. About nobody on the Carolina Panthers right now. I'm sorry, bro. Maybe you are a good offensive coordinator. I know he was the running back coach for the Rams the year before that, assistant head coach the year before that.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, bro. I don't want to see a headline that says we're looking to interview an offensive coordinator from the Carolina Panthers, bro. Don't want to see that. I don't necessarily know that I'm wild about Cliff Kingsbury neither. I know that I'm hoping that they end. I wanted Seattle's offensive coordinator, but it looked like somebody else is going to hire him. I forgot who the team was.
Oh, really?
But Mike Waldron. I was hoping that we can get Waldron. But
where did Waldron go? Because I saw his name surface.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly where they said he interviewed with. They was going to get him. I don't remember exactly where, but he was definitely on my unofficial short list. I know that Seattle has a good offense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
I don't know about Cliff Kingsbury right now. I damn sure don't know about no Thomas Brown.
As an offensive coordinator?
Right, as an offensive coordinator.
Because he was the head coach at Arizona.
Arizona, yeah.
He was the head coach, and before that he was in college.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I can understand your concerns.
And respect to Thomas Brown, black man, but your last job was this season in Carolina. Yeah.
That was a bad offense, man.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe it wasn't all your fault.
Hey, he put 30 on the Packers, though.
I don't want to hear that. But like I said, this is all preliminary talk.
I mentioned that because that was a whole talking point when they went up against the Cowboys in the playoffs. The fact that the Cowboys couldn't put some points up on the board on Green Bay early, but somehow Carolina dropped 30 on them in a game a few weeks prior to that. But you know who else parted ways with their team earlier? I saw Vic Fangio is leaving Miami. Leaving Miami.
I heard he might be getting a job like pretty fast. I forgot where I saw that.
Philly.
Yeah, right.
Philly is the spot there. And the other guy from the Giants, Wink Martindale. He's still out there too. And I'm wondering if Miami might, hop on that bandwagon to get Wink Martindale.
Yeah, I remember they was talking about the last game Miami played. I remember when they played Kansas City, they was talking about Wink Martindale maybe coming to Miami. Yeah,
that
I
would be
remember.
a good look.
I mean, they need that. They need defensive help. And the thing is that they got players. They got Chubb, they got Xavier Howard, they got Jalen Ramsey. They had a pretty good linebacker who was injured. Javon Holland is a safety who's pretty good.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, they got pieces. Maybe just need a coach. Getting on to the Detroit game.
Detroit and Tampa.
Great game. Good game, man. Good game. Look, man, Detroit, they better stacked in the play right now than the Buccaneers. Look, nobody saw the Buccaneers even getting past Philly.
Right.
That might have been more of a Philly not being on their pivot thing than it was the Bucs being a superior team. And the Bucks ran into a superior team, a more prepared team than Philly was, and those were the results. But hell of a game.
Hell of a game. And the Bucks,
Hell of a
credit to
game.
them because I don't feel like they've embarrassed themselves in these two
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
I thought early on in that game, they stood toe-to-toe with Detroit. And then I think once Detroit took that 2-score lead, I thought, you know what, that's it. I know they made a little run toward the end there. But, yeah, Detroit just got too much talent all around offensively for them to deal with. And look, Detroit's defense, which is not considered all that great, you know, Tampa Bay was able to take advantage of some of that with Mike Evans down the field and Chris Godwin and the tight end Otten. They were able to take advantage of some of that stuff. So
yeah, that's interesting, man. Because I remember looking at that secondary in the beginning of the year, thinking, you know, Cameron Sutton, and that's, you know, obviously a former Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback, and I forget the guy on the other side, but I'm like, that's a good cornerback tandem. But Aiden Hutchinson, obviously one of the better pass rushers in the game right now.
Yeah, he could use some help though. Aiden Hutchinson could certainly use some help.
It would seem that he needs some help for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. But shout out to Detroit, man. NFC Championship game.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Detroit. 3-1-3.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to them. Man.
And I guess the barn burner game. The Chiefs pull out the win against Buffalo.
Yep.
I tell you, I was very I thought that this was going to be the time that Buffalo pulled it off.
Mm-hmm.
And too many injuries.
I was just gonna say. So going into the game, they had three starting linebackers out.
They have four linebackers on the active list going into the game, and one of them got injured.
Right. So yeah, they had second string, third string guys on defense, you know, in that front seven. So I knew, you know, Chiefs offensively were going to be able to do something, but I think what I didn't expect out of that game, MVS, Valdez-Scantling, you know, the passes that were thrown his way, he caught the passes. You know, he's one of those suspects of, you know, dropping passes throughout the regular season. It
seemed like that was all Buffalo this game because Diggs dropped the bomb.
Yep.
Sheffield dropped 2.
Yep.
You know, like, you know, it's only so much Josh Allen can do. But with that being said, you was paid and this team was put together for you to be the man. So I'm not saying it's your fault, but I am saying you get the blame.
Look, the kicker missed the kick.
Yeah,
I know it's the two words that Buffalonians don't want to hear. Wide right. I understand it. But I think there's moments throughout that game, and I got a hot take, and I know there's been some conversation about it, and I know it's not gonna happen, but that fake punt in their own territory.
Yeah, it was a mistake.
That's a fireable offense, bro.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Like McDermott should be fired for that. And the reason they're not talking about it as much is because McCole Hardman couldn't hold on to the football and, you know, ended up.
I won't go far to say fire, but it was that was a mistake.
Because that was the game. In my eyes, that was the game until McCole Hardman did what he did.
Yeah, but that play, like, I think it was a mistake because it didn't work, but nobody saw it coming. That was more my thing. So I could respect that. I think the down and distance was too far. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody
way
saw
down.
It. Yeah, like legit. Kansas City had 10 players on the field. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like
right. Now, does that mean that they didn't see it, or does it mean that they weren't prepared for the play?
I think they weren't prepared for the play. That's what I think. I think they and when you can catch them off guard, I get that it didn't work, but if you catch the defense off guard, that's always gonna be a good play in my book.
Because good teams find a way to exploit that and convert that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Look.
Because he wasn't close. He wasn't close, like, to getting
Yeah, he
that.
wasn't. Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
agree.
saying?
I agree.
It made me think, wait a minute. Kansas City, while they did have, while they were shorthanded on that play, it seemed like the players that were there kind of sniffed it out. At least that's what I took from it, anyway.
Nah, okay. I looked at it like, they didn't see it, but they made the play. You know what I'm saying? Right. But credit to them for making the play. It was more for me credit to them for making the play, even though they were ill prepared for the play.
Right.
That's kind of what I came away with it. But obviously, like you said, it didn't really mean much because McCole Hardman did what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Hardman.
McCole Hardman.
Hardman. Okay.
Yep.
I don't know why I keep trying to call him James Harden, but
by the way, yeah. Well, by the way, because the Chiefs brought him back mid-season. Remember, he was on the Jets. And the Jets cut him mid-season. So
because they wasn't using him.
Right. They weren't using him, but the two times McCole Hardman, got plays, it was very ineffective, and I saw a lot of Chiefs fans on the timeline calling for him to just, kid, just stay your ass on the bench, bro. Because you're just doing too much right now.
Yeah, I won't say, look, it don't seem like they're using him the way they used him when he used to be there. Yep. Yeah. Yep. For whatever reason.
Although, I will say this, because there was a lot of criticism about the play call that led to that. I'm fine with the play call. McCole Hardman needs to just hold on to the damn ball.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I was fine with it. I didn't think they was getting cute with it. Did you?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No. That was a good play call. I'm cool with it. I'm not gonna say I liked it, I loved it, but I certainly didn't hate it.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Exactly. I had no problem with that. Yeah, I had no problem with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs move on. The Bills go home, man.
Look, man, it's starting to give Jim Kelly, man. Except for Jim Kelly actually made the bowl.
Well, look. There's been a lot of Josh Allen conversations, a lot of taking up for him the past few days. I'm not about to sit up here and do that. I mean,
not at all.
Lost.
Like I said, it's
you
giving
lost.
Jim Kelly, bro.
Right. Yeah.
Except for you ain't make the bowl. Like here's the thing, man. Like all the balls juggling they doing for Josh Allen, and they've done it for Josh Allen over, pretty much since he's been in the league.
Yep.
Look, I get it. Supremely talented. Throws the ball, runs the ball, do all those things. For that, then y'all got. I don't like admitting this because he played for the enemy, but y'all definitely got to start sucking Lamar off a little more crazier because we're talking about two quarterbacks that do similar things.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's the thing.
So I get that Lamar Jackson doesn't necessarily throw for 300 yards and then still runs for 50, but he definitely does run for 100 and then throw for 2. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like you got to start respecting Lamar Jackson at the level that you respect Josh Allen.
Yep.
It's just that simple. Like this whole white-black quarterback thing gotta die at this point, because now we're talking about when Lamar Jackson eventually makes the Super Bowl, if it's this year, if it's next year.
Yeah.
Now he's doing something that Josh Allen hasn't done.
Right.
And for all intents and purposes, Ryan Clark was talking about this on ESPN. I saw on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Like Lamar Jackson's like he going this year. Patrick Mahomes had already went.
Yep.
So now you're behind the curve.
Right. Joe Burrow has been to a Super Bowl.
Joe Burrow was the guy he brought up. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now we're looking at you as big, the homo, as all these physical attributes you have as a quarterback, and obviously you putting it on the field. You haven't been able to get to the game.
Yeah.
And we ain't really trying to hear all that when you that good. When you get into the game.
Right. Well, I'll give the Buffalo Bills credit in this regard because I had them dead to rights when they were 6-6.
For sure.
You had put some money on them to miss the playoffs. You even alluded to, hey, he's good enough to make a run,
Which
to
he did,
the
by the way.
playoffs, which he did. All credit also to Miami's collapse at the
Yeah.
same time of that. So yeah, look, they did some good things this year. Albeit with the injuries, the slow start, strong finish, and even kind of getting to this point. But I think for this AFC Championship game, we clearly have the two best teams in the conference, and really nobody should be surprised that the Chiefs are there.
I'm not surprised that the Chiefs are there, but I am not going to say that the Chiefs are I would say Baltimore is the best team in the AFC. I don't think that the Chiefs were the second best team. I think that Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs,
Sure.
and that's the difference.
Sure.
I think if you put Josh Allen on the Kansas City Chiefs, then the Kansas City Chiefs look a lot like the Buffalo Bills.
Sure.
I think
sure.
if you put Patrick Mahomes on the Buffalo Bills, then we talking about the Buffalo Bills being Super Bowl champions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's I think Buffalo. I mean, I guess they were injured.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at the journey. I'm looking at the journey of
Yeah.
these teams, right? Buffalo, like I said, they had the slow start, strong finish. We already deemed Miami was frauds.
Right.
We already deemed Jacksonville was frauds.
Right.
We saw their collapse. Cleveland had 4 quarterbacks in their
I
rotation.
think Buffalo
start
was
for
the
them.
second best team. I think Buffalo. That's what I was getting at. I think Buffalo was the second best team. They just didn't have Patrick Mahomes on their team.
Okay. I kind of see what you're saying there. I kind of see what you're saying. I think for me, I'm just taking the totality of their journeys, to kind of get to this point. And when you kind of look at it, even with Kansas City's inability to catch the football early on, it's Patrick Mahomes. I think, like you said, man.
It's Patrick Mahomes.
It's
I
Patrick
think,
Mahomes.
like I said, if the roles were reversed and this past game, the Buffalo Bills had Patrick Mahomes as their starting quarterback, and the Kansas City Chiefs had Josh Allen as their starting quarterback.
Yep.
I think Buffalo comes out with this game.
And the defense. Let me
Yeah.
throw some love to the Chiefs defense because
Sure.
this is one of the units that was slept on the entire year, and obviously you share a team with Patrick Mahomes, you're probably not going to get as much shine as you deserve, but
Right.
they're the only defense that hasn't given up 30 to any team all season long. I think the most they've given up was 28, and I think that was to Green Bay, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But they have not given up 28 plus points to anybody this year. So yeah, and I think I mentioned it. There were those moments where maybe the Chiefs were going to have to play a certain style to sort of get to where they want to get to.
Right.
And they've gotten to this point, Patrick Mahomes doing what he does, the defense, doing what it does. I saw a stat the other day, their second half performances, I think they only give up on an average, 7 to 8 points in the second half per game. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. So
Yeah, shout out to the Chiefs, man, and shout out to the Bills. But while I was wrong about the playoff predictions, another year has gone by, and we got to start to ask not if he's the franchise quarterback, but what do we need to do to retool? I mean, is it just James Cook coming along, and that's all they're going to need? Because look, they got Dawson Knox. Dalton Kincaid is a good tight end. So they got good tight ends.
Yep.
So what at this point are they missing? What do they need to get over this hump and make it to a Super Bowl? Because clearly you're rocking with Josh Allen. He's not going nowhere.
Right.
We know what talent he is. But what's stopping them at this point? Is it just Patrick Mahomes? Because if it is, all right, maybe you're cool with that. But I can't imagine Buffalo saying, all right, we're just going to be cool with that and just keep losing to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Nah, they got to make some changes. I think the first place you start is how do you deal with the running back situation? Is James Cook going to be your guy moving forward? Because I think
he is.
Yeah, because I think and props to Joe Brady, who took over for Ken Dorsey mid-season.
Right.
He was able to implement some run game in this offense that's normally a Josh Allen offense. Throw the ball, run whatever it's convenient, whatever. And really, in those conditions in Buffalo, that's the kind of like offense you really need to run, man. Like you really got to be a running.
Except for that motherfucker throw good in the snow,
Sure,
man. Josh Allen throw good in the snow.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm just talking about balance. I'm not even saying they got to run a lot more than they do pass. I'm just saying you would have to have a threat of a running game at some point. And in past seasons, and even about half this season, they haven't shown that they can really do that consistently, except for when they played the Cowboys, about a month or so ago. So I think you start there. Defense. I mean, what do the defense need? Like,
well, they look. I think they're front three. I think they run 3-4. So their front line, their defensive line. I think that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. There's like in that front seven, there's like 4 different people with 5 sacks, and I get that that's an amazing stat. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The whole I don't know where you're coming from type thing.
Yep.
But you say what you want. There's no dominant pass.
They don't got a dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like you need one, at least one.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think pass rush is definitely, in my opinion, the most important thing. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you want to look at cornerback, maybe if you want to look at the
and how does Trey White come back from the injury, and how does he look? Is he at that point where
I think you kind of looking like where you got to make him a number 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where he's not that Trey White anymore.
Right.
And I think Buffalo fans have been saying that for a few years anyway.
Right.
Yeah. So, definitely they gonna need like a little soft retool. To get, if they're talking about competing against Kansas City and now Baltimore, you got to do something different, because this is not going.
And Miami's close. Miami's close. They need to do some stuff too, but
they need some soul searching, man. I don't think they. I get it. We look at them on paper, but they don't have that. All right, it's me or you. What's up? So they don't got that in them, right? Yeah, it's a whole bunch of talented players that ain't got no edge.
They need something. They need something, but they're not far away. They're not far away. I think they're closer than what people deem them to be.
Well, okay. I mean, do you think they, in the scheme of the AFC, were they like the 6th or 7th best team?
In the AFC, I think they're the 4th. I think they could be the 4th best team in the AFC.
Okay. So Kansas City,
Baltimore,
and
Buffalo, and Miami. Yeah.
No, are you basing it off this year? Or are you basing it off of? See, my.
You're projecting into.
But I'm also looking at what they did, and since Tua's been there,
right?
You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're better than Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's true.
I don't think they're better than Cincinnati.
Yeah. You get a healthy Joe Burrow back.
If you're asking me right now, it might not be better than Houston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just thinking.
Right now,
I was just thinking.
They might not be better than Houston.
I was just thinking. Yeah.
Wait
till Richardson comes back for Indianapolis.
Well, I'm not gonna go that far, but I'm not gonna.
They won 9 games with him being on the sideline.
I get you, but I'm not going to disrespect Miami like that with the rookie. Like I mean, I guess C.J. Stroud's a rookie too, but that's different.
But we saw C.J. Stroud do some things. We didn't get a chance to really.
And then I'm not even gonna go far to say Cleveland. I think 6 is a good number.
So you got Houston, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Kansas City, and Buffalo better than Miami.
Right.
Okay. I can't argue with that. Although, God, if they could just close the game against the Titans, we might be having a different conversation.
Maybe.
Where they are in these playoffs, maybe. But
I mean, hell, we might be having a different conversation when Jim Harbaugh get a hold of Justin Herbert.
Yeah, and this team, and this Chargers team too. Yeah.
And Lord have mercy if I can get a quarterback in Pittsburgh, man. Jeez Louise.
Because I mean, you look around and I don't know what the hell Jacksonville's going to be.
Yeah, I'm not going to put Jacksonville over them yet.
No, I'm not. They need some stuff too, though. They need some stuff. But I think injuries kind of derailed them too.
Yeah.
in a sense. So but the AFC is stacked, particularly at the quarterback spot. It's certainly
Yeah.
stacked.
Yeah.
But speaking of quarterback, I want to go back to Tampa for a second. What do you think they do with Baker Mayfield? Because he played on a 1-year deal. His deal's up. He's a free agent. Gonna be this offseason.
I mean,
What do the
I
Bucks
can't
do?
imagine. I can't imagine they have to give. I said they resign him. I can't imagine them having to giving him no more than fucking 15, maybe $20 million a year for 2 years. I can't
I was
imagine
gonna
them
say
having.
15.
Yeah,
15 is low.
yeah,
That's
right.
real low.
Yeah,
I would
right.
say 20. I'd say 25. I'll go 25,
Okay, I mean the market's
28.
different. Yeah, sure, sure. But I can't see them having to do no more than that for 2 years, three
Right.
years, like kind of like what they did with Gino.
Because I was gonna say, who's his comp? So you say Gino is maybe his
Yeah,
comp?
yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah. And Baker's younger than Gino. Let's keep that
Right,
in mind too.
right,
So
right,
so
right.
yeah, so yeah, they got some decisions too. Mike Evans, I think, is a free agent as well. Um,
Hearing rumors that he might not want to be there.
I'm hearing some stuff that he might not want to be there no more. I tell you who could use a Mike Evans. Kansas City Chiefs could use a Mike Evans for certain.
Man. Yeah, I don't even want that to happen though. Stay in the NFC. Come to Pittsburgh or stay in the NFC, bro.
Speaking of which, so who was it that just got a new coach? The Titans hired a new coach, right?
They hired
Brian Callahan.
Right, Brian
from
Callahan
from the Bengals.
from the Bengals. Yeah,
He was the offensive coordinator of the Bengals. Okay.
yeah, cool.
So,
I mean, I would love to sit here and pretend like I have an opinion of it. I don't. Cool.
so the only thing I heard about it, so someone on radio, I think it was Bart Scott, said he's coming from Cincinnati, and T. Higgins is a free agent, and there may be an idea that the Titans will go after T. Higgins to help to help with the offense. And if
They
and
need
if
to.
right, and if Brian Callahan did what he did for that offense in Cincinnati, imagine what he could do potentially for a Will Levis in that system.
That got DeAndre Hopkins and T. Higgins.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see with that situation. So, you got anything else?
Nah, man, let's pick some championship games.
All right, that's what's up. I'll get to my game last. Lions at San Francisco taking on the 49ers. I think this is going to be a really great game. Or I should say I hope. I hope it's going to be a great game. Look, I'm going to stick with the 49ers, man. I know a lot of folks have some hope that Detroit can pull this off. There's been a lot of people talking about it. Detroit, Baltimore Super Bowl, all the black people.
Blackest Super Bowl.
The blackest Super Bowl in Vegas, the parties being lit and all this stuff. I'm gonna stick with the pick because I've been telling Niner fans even after we beat them, and I'm talking about like people that I met at the game on Christmas.
Sure.
I've been saying, look, don't worry, there'll be a part two. There definitely will be a part two here. So I'm not gonna back off of that. I think the 49ers win. I will say though, the run defense, they was looking shaky against Green Bay. Aaron Jones carved them up pretty good.
Yeah, and David Montgomery and Gibbs ain't gonna be no cakewalk.
Right. So Greenlaw and them boys better be ready for that. So, and so yeah, and the other reason too. And look, I know the 49ers defense didn't do a lot to pressure Jordan Love, but Jordan Love can move around the pocket. Jordan Love can escape and make throws on the run. Jared Goff, while he's been great for Detroit, Jared Goff is not going to move around like that.
Last of the stationary quarterbacks, maybe.
Yeah, right. So if you're the 49ers, I think you can take advantage of his immobility to get out the pocket and be able to get home a few times. Like I think that's gonna be the big difference in the game is the defense getting after Jared Goff. I think that's where the Niners win it. And Brock Purdy, and we didn't really touch on it in the recap. He looked like he was seeing some stuff, some ghosts in that game because some of them throws, he wasn't hitting the receivers. I mean, look, the final drive where they took the lead, great catch by Jennings over the middle there where he had to jump up and get it. Great catch by Ayuk. Ayuk had to, kind of lean low to grab the ball, from hitting the turf. He caught that. Purdy is going to have to make some better throws in his game.
Did you agree with Cam Newton saying that Brock Purdy, Tua, and Dak Prescott are game managers?
I don't believe that with Dak, though. I think with Purdy for certain. With Tua for certain, because I gotta see him without Tyreek. Tyreek, that's a totally different thing there. With Dak, I think Dak can make plays beyond the pocket. I just think he doesn't.
But that don't mean you're not a game manager though.
I guess that's true. True. Although I would like to see him make those kinds of plays, like be on the move a lot more. Like early on in his career, he used to do that. I don't know why he stopped doing it as much.
No, I think he's still. I mean, they definitely look. I think this year, he was just very it was working for him. CeeDee Lamb looking like the best receiver in the league, damn near right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Outside of that playoff game, but
right.
Looking damn near like the
best, number two in the league in receiving
yards.
Maybe,
yeah. So. I think that was working maybe more than maybe expected, where they didn't have to call so many design runs for Dak, or where he didn't have to do a lot of improvising.
Right.
I think that Dak Prescott is a very good game manager. I do think that.
Okay.
I think he's a very good game manager.
Okay. Yep.
Maybe the best out of the second best, because I think Brock. I mean, I get we don't have the sample size that Dak has, but if you're asking me right now, and maybe because Shanahan got a better offensive scheme than any Dallas offensive coordinator, Brock Purdy is probably of the three the best game manager.
But it's not just the scheme; it's the players. I'm taking Christian McCaffrey over Tony Pollard. I'm taking
that part.
Well, I'll take CD over Ayuk.
I'll take CD over I'll take CD over Ayuk.
I'll take Kittle over who's they tight end? Ferguson. I'll take Kittle over Ferguson.
Yeah, but Ferguson cooking though. This is rookie year or second year, I think.
Second year. Yeah,
he cooking. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, sure.
Yeah, and the left tackle. I'm taking him over who Dallas's left tackle is too, even at his age.
Yeah, sure. So the other NFC game is...
Well, no, there is no other NFC game. This is it.
I'm tripping. You see my fault. You see my eyes. This
man.
Is
it.
My bad.
This is it,
my
man.
bad. This is it. Absolutely.
This is it, man. It's a bummer too, man. It's a bummer too. With the season coming to a close, it's a bummer.
Yeah. Don't worry. Just time for me to get into my NBA bag.
Yeah, there you go. I'm definitely looking forward to the NBA. So yeah, man. First of all, I am not, and I've been good for about 2-3 days this week. With interacting with Chiefs fans, and as a matter of fact, I was hitting up Jody. Shout out Jody. I was trying to get her and the girls on the show, and I was trying to create some content with them on their platform, and schedules just kind of didn't work out and everything. So it was all cool, but I've been very good at staying away from the trolling, the smack talk, and the whole, like you remember on the Last Dance documentary, you remember how they were saying how Jordan would talk himself into making people think that he was the underdog and stuff.
Like he did with my man with the bullets. I forget my man's name.
Yeah.
My man just got the cook of them, and like he was like, nah. I forget what he made up, but
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah, like there's Chiefs fans doing that. There's Ravens fans doing that, and to me, it's like, look, y'all, these are the two best teams in the conference. I wouldn't have it any other way. We going against the GOAT in Mahomes. This is who I wanted. For this title game, this is who I wanted, and I respect the hell out of the Chiefs. I respect what they've done, since Andy Reid's been there, since Mahomes got there. They 2-time champions now with Mahomes. The defense, underrated defense all year, but I'm gonna give a score here. 24-21 Ravens. These two defenses are too good for this game for me to get into the 30s. And yes, it's crazy to say that when you got Mahomes and Lamar in the same game for both teams to be held under 30. It's crazy to say that, right? But I think these two defenses are good, man. They're two different types of defenses.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think this becomes a defensive struggle, and I think we beat the Chiefs by 3 points.
Okay. Look, man, I just don't want to see y'all in the Super Bowl. I don't want to see it. I don't want to, like I told you last week, if y'all make it to the Super Bowl, I don't know if I'm going to be with y'all. I don't know if I'm going to be with y'all.
Dang,
whatever we do.
Well, look, I haven't even decided what I'm doing for Super Bowl, to be honest with you.
Cool.
I haven't decided, so
Well,
I might not tell you my whereabouts.
Yeah, don't be around me, nigga.
I might just pop up or something.
Don't be around me, nigga.
If you show up at Melanie's, I might pop up at Melanie's. You never know.
Don't be around me, nigga. I don't want to deal with that.
And I'm gonna have a shank on me, so in case you try something.
Cause
in case you try something, yo.
You know the type of energy I'm on.
I'm gonna have a hearse around the corner with the coroner standing by.
But in all objectivity, I don't see it. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
But I think this. I won't call this a baton passing, but I do think this is the start of a rivalry between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
I know injuries that Lamar Jackson has kind of slowed that down from being a thing.
Yep.
But he's healthy, he's paid. And he looking like, nigga, I'm here to play football, and that's the same energy that Patrick Mahomes is on.
Yep.
So I think this is going to be the start of that. I want to pick Kansas City because I don't like Baltimore, but I don't think that Kansas City's defense is as good as you're calling them to be.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to know. I don't think they're going to be able to deal with the threat of Lamar Jackson running for 50 yards, 60 yards.
Right.
I also don't think that with that fear, Dalvin Cook got to cooking a little bit last week.
Yeah, and it was in garbage time, but yes, he did.
He had a couple of runs.
Yep.
More than that, Isaiah Likely, for some reason, I know you've been talking about Isaiah Likely pretty much all year.
Yeah.
Off and on, but for some reason, it's something happening.
And Mark Andrews will be active.
I don't know if that's a good or it can't be a bad thing, but it's going to look different, obviously.
It will look different.
It will look different.
I think you can have those guys on the field at the same time.
Sure, what I do be concerned about with Mark Andrews is Lamar Jackson trying to force the ball.
Yep.
I do be concerned about that. It looks different when he's not on the field. He's not forcing. He's just playing football.
He's finding other guys. Zay Flowers. He's finding Zay Flowers. He's finding Odell Beckham. He's finding even Rashad Bateman gets into the action a little bit.
But long story short is objectively, Baltimore is going to the Super Bowl. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope Patrick Mahomes does Patrick Mahomes things to win the game. But objectively, I can't see that defense being able to deal with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. So the matchup I'm looking forward to, defensively, Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, inside linebackers versus Isaiah Pacheco. And I respect the hell out of Isaiah Pacheco. That dude runs hard, man. He's the guy that's going to run angry. But that's going to be a matchup right there where it's going to be, I know you run angry, but, nigga, we going to be the angriest ones on Sunday. So
For sure.
So that I'm looking forward to that, man. And I hope the prices of these tickets drop some more. I mean, it might get to a point where I'm going to have to wait till the morning of to get some tickets.
Right.
It might have to get to that point. So yeah, man, we'll see, man. Definitely looking forward to it, man. They're gonna have a bunch of stuff around town. I think they got some parties Friday night. They got some stuff going on Saturday here in the city. So so yeah.
You outside?
I might be. I might be outside. The weather's gonna be nicer than what it was last weekend for certain.
Right.
So yeah. I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait. I wish I could get to Vegas, man. But them flights, bruh. Them flights is like $1,000.
Yeah, you would have had to make up in your mind early that Baltimore was going to the Super Bowl and get them,
Yeah. So I'm not gonna be able to get out there, unfortunately. But yeah, for next time though, I gotta really think about that because at the same time, you could book a hotel, you could book flights, but you can also like cancel them and get your money back and stuff like that. So
right.
It's just the idea of putting my money towards something when I could use that money for something else in the meantime. It's just that thought of it. But I'm gonna learn my lesson. Not gonna wait too late next time. You got anything else, man?
No, sir, man. I'm good, man. You know me. I'm a minute. I like that hour and 30, man.
That's what's up. It's an hour and 23 right
here.
That. So
love that.
All good, man. Shout out to the chat. Facebook Live, shout out X Squad affiliates, shout out Chief Rocker Jersey, YouTube Live chat, Twitch, everybody, Twitter, shout out to everybody in these chats, man. If you know somebody, looking to listen to a great podcast, make sure you let them know. We got the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're on Facebook, so, click that like button on Facebook, you get these live feeds. Also on Twitch, follow us there. We got the Instagram account at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. We also are on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. If you got questions or comments about the show, you want to email us, hit us up at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. Also, check out the merch store. We got some hoodies, mugs, t-shirts, and stuff. If you're listening to this live or you're watching this live, we got a link in the description. Check that out. Got some good stuff on there for you. Support some brothers right here. What else? Oh, review. Let us know what you think about the show if you're listening on audio, whether it's Spotify, Google, Apple, iHeartRadio. Drop a review. Let us know what you think about the show. It definitely goes a long way, man. And, bro, looking forward to next week's show, man.
Yes, sir.
Gonna be a good one. Love, peace, and happiness to everybody out there. And as always, mind your damn business.
Drink some water.
Oh, yeah, we got him. Trey, Frazier, and Maestro Styles. You know
Recording
we got
stopped.
one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.